What's up, YouTube? Okay, so I've been accused of being overly critical and too hard on black women. I agree, but then I disagree. Okay. Now there are different types of standards. I have four. Okay, I have one, the whole physical standard, the whole job / career / money standard. And I have a moral standard, and I also have a communication standard. Okay? Now, as far as the physical standard, like you guys already know, I'm open to different sizes and shapes, just as long as you're living healthy, right? And you maintain how you look when I met you, so there is no falling off, right? Just be healthy, go to the gym at least 4 or 5 times a week, and you'll be okay. As far as the career, education, money thing, I would prefer that she's educated. I would prefer that she has a career, but I'm not concerned with how much she brings home. I'm more concerned with, can she manage her money, right? Our money, whatever you want to call it. Can she budget, and can she control her spending? That's what I'm looking at. So I'm not too caught up, like I said before, if she's making 40 or if she's making 200, right? Budgeting and balancing, you need that skill, and you have to know how to spend your money wisely. End of story, right? So I'm pretty flexible there. But where I don't waver is on how we communicate with each other, right? Verbally and non-verbally. Okay, like I refuse to deal with that, because miscommunication is probably one of the biggest reasons why black men and women are pretty much upset with each other and frustrated. It's one of the worst things to, not be properly understood. So I have a low tolerance for people who can't effectively communicate, even when it comes down to feelings. I don't stand for it. If you're upset, let somebody know. Nobody's perfect and people need to vent. But if you're upset about something, open your mouth and say it. Or make sure I get the picture. We're not going to get anywhere if we have bad habits in terms of communication, and then, oh, I thought she meant this, or I was trying to say this. I don't do all that. And I don't waver when it comes to moral standards in terms of your do's and your don'ts. I don't understand how anybody can have any sort of a happy life when every day it's a new adventure. Sin is all around you. Okay, so if you don't have any do's and don'ts, every day will be an adventure, and you will win some and you will lose some, and I'm trying to win every day. So I don't care what shape and form, sin may come, right? The devil has many disguises. I don't care. My do's and don'ts are the same. They don't waver. No one's perfect, but hey, I don't excuse negative behavior. I don't care what the situation is, because you're not going to get anywhere. So for me, I feel like, yeah, I'm flexible, but I'm also stubborn. But the problem I see with a lot of the women is that, the women are strict when it comes to what they want physically and what they want in terms of financially. Okay? And where I differ, like I said, is I'm more so flexible. I'm not really, a stickler on that stuff. But where the women are lackadaisical and more so less solid is when it comes to morality and communication. Oftentimes, the women will see a dude, oh, he's cute, he's making good money, and they will forego, right, really getting on him for maybe some of the things he's not doing in terms of communication, or even if he's living foul. Right? Oh, well, he's cute enough and he's making enough money, so I'm gonna, stick by him and all this other stuff. And that's where we differ. And to me, the women say that it's okay, right? The women therefore condone that behavior, and they get upset when all men don't treat them that way, right? Like, no, right? Half the time, what you allow, okay, you also become. So if you're going to allow somebody to, be horrible in terms of communication, that is also going to make you an ineffective communicator. If you're going to allow a man to not have moral standard, well, what does that say about you? If you're going to allow sinful behavior, right? You're like an accessory to a crime. And that's where you guys are more so lackadaisical. So to me, I have a hard time in, saying that I'm fair, but then saying that I'm stubborn. I'm kind of in the middle, right? Certain things I will not concede to, but other things I'm flexible on, right? And for me, I don't see how you can be a happy person and live any sort of a spiritual happy life if you allow for issues in communication and if you allow for issues in morality, right? I don't care how cute you are. I don't care how much money you're making. Like I said before, I think a lot of women run into problems because they'd rather hold on to looks and money and let communication and morality slide, thinking that everything's going to be okay. But I beg to differ. I beg to differ. Right? So that's where, I'm coming from when I do my video. So I may come off harsh, but I'm coming off harsh because I'm seeing things that show that you have no moral standards, or that they're loose and they're not, tightened up. And I'm seeing communication issues that are problems. Okay? Like I said, the women come on and say I'm unfairly critical, but have I ever did a video, right, on some, you have to fit this form or this shape? No, I've never did that. I don't really care about it, so I don't talk about it that much. And I've never really did a video on some, you have to make X amount of dollars and have this and that. And there are men out there who are like, it's 2009. You damn near have to have everything on your own. I'm not paying for anything. But I'm not like that. Like I said, I'm fair and flexible. I'm not concerned about how much money you make. I'm more so worried about how you spend and budget your money. So I'm flexible there. But if you look at the women, a lot of y'all are, hardcore. I like this out of men, right? I like this, style, this physique. And then you also say, I like this in terms of what he's doing for a living and how much he's making. So to me, we're no different, right? We only differ in what we waver on, right? And that's it. But I'm not going to, do the whole, I allowed you to waver in terms of communication and morally, so you should deal with me because I let you do it. No. I'm sorry. If that's what you're used to, that has to stop. A lot of the times, you women are used to letting men get away with certain stuff, and then you want the good dude, right? And you're going to assume that he's going to let you get away with stuff, and it's not going to work that way. It's not. I'm sorry that you maybe in your past allowed certain behaviors out of men. I'm sorry you did. Okay? Right? And I understand that, you want your time back. It's the whole, I let him run all over me, so I have to run over the next guy. It doesn't work that way. It really doesn't. Okay? So before you come at me and say that I'm, unfairly critical, understand where I'm coming from, because you're partly right, but you're partly wrong. Okay? Because I feel the same way about you guys. Some of you guys are partly right, but then you're partly wrong. But where you are wrong, to me, is extremely detrimental to yourself, to the other person, and just to whatever union you're trying to form. Right? You try it. Like, we live in a world where, of course, you have to be flexible. The world is changing. But you try to get by in a world where you have no sort of communication standard and you have no sort of moral standard, or even if you do have one, it's loose and flexible. Tell me how far you're going to get. Okay? Most of the problems that we have as human beings is because we can't communicate, right? And we have no actual do's and don'ts. So we'll try everything, even if it means we're going to get in trouble, right? And I can bypass that. Like, I'm able to be flexible on so many issues, and issues that I don't even know are issues yet, simply because I know I can get through any problem, okay, if that person has a clear set of do's and don'ts and they know how to communicate. I don't see any problem that we can't get through if we can, reach that level of understanding. So, once again, you guys take it easy. Tell me how you feel. God bless.